Hello everyone, this is Shiravi and welcome back to my YouTube channel, that is my booktube channel, The Caffeinated Reader. So today it's an August wrap-up video of all the books I have read in the month of August, and I'm so very pleased with the reading things I did this month. Like all of them gave me little a bit of things I should know, I should believe, I should keep in mind and be grateful for. So going to share it all of you. Without any further delay, let's get into today's video. So the first novel that I read in the month of August was this novel called 1984. Now this novel, oh my god, this novel was an absolute treat to the mind, an absolute treat to the soul, an absolute treat to everything I believe, everything I possess, everything I am grateful for. Like literally this was my perspective of taking insights from this book. Like it made me grateful for whatever I have, whatever I can keep, whatever I can believe, and about all the basic individual rights I have, and it was so good. If you already haven't watched my video regarding why you should read 1984, you should definitely check it out. It's there in my channel and it will be there in the description or at the end of the video, so do check it out. It's really awesome, and it's George Orwell thing, so you can already understand Orwellian book, and it's really going to blow your mind. So yes, this was the book that I completed in the month of August. I started reading it towards the end of July, but the content was very heavy again because it's my first dystopian novel. So yes, I completed it in the month of August. So my first book, 1984. So the second book that I completed in this month was the Stephen Hawking's Black Hole. Now this book is by the BBC Rate Lectures, and it's very slim, very slim. Like it's only about 70 pages, but it bears the history of astronomy and Stephen Hawking and all the foundations of astronomy in a capsule format. So if you are in need of or in the taste of reading astronomy and its backgrounds and foundations, and you have time constraint but want to again experience it in a better format, I suggest you go for it, because I am a person who actually likes knowing about astronomy. I have earlier read Carl Sagan's Cosmos and all, and I basically love knowing about this particular field. So for me this book was like a small concise bible. Like I will just tell the synopsis. It's amazing. Like it is said that fact is sometimes stranger than fiction, and nowhere is that more true than in the case of black holes. Black holes are stranger than anything dreamed up by science fiction writers. Now this is one part of the synopsis. Not going to say much, but this part actually amazed me a lot. And this one is the BBC Rate Lectures that took the interview of Stephen Hawking and then they formatted it in this book, and it's mind-blowing. There is nothing that can be used to describe Stephen Hawking except the genius mindset, and this book actually impressed me. So yes, the second book I completed in the month of August was the BBC Rate Lectures Black Hole of Stephen King. Now the third book that I completed in the month of August was this book called We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. And this book was, oh my god, how many times did I say oh my god in this video?
अरे कहना क्या चाहते हो?
Like quite a times, but it was really oh my god. Like she actually gives you real concepts about feminism. She doesn't beat about the bush, and she doesn't preach you to like support feminism in the face of destroying the men's and supporting the girls in the face of literally anything. No, it was not like that. Like she said that because she is from Nigeria, yes, and from there the status of women are actually very bad. Like if a woman goes to a hotel, it is one of the instances. If a woman goes to a hotel alone without the company of a man, she is considered to be a prostitute. If she pays for a bill, it is considered that her man gave her the money to pay, and the salute that a waiter gives is to the man, not to the woman. And there are places where she can't actually gather the respect of any profession she holds or any woman holds because she is a woman. So she particularly emphasizes Nigeria's problem of feminism, but there are quite a lot of instances where the feminism or the problem of women of the whole world is taken into account. Now many of the problems of Nigeria, I felt like it is not relevant in our case, and it is quite an old book, and I felt it is not relevant in our case because in our country, or particularly of the people I encountered it, I never found such kind of stuff. Yes, though on a small amount there it is, but in the majority amount I didn't find such. But many of the instances she gave about general feminism and about the problems women face all over the world is quite very much relevant, and I'm honestly in love with Chimamanda because this is my first book by her, and I'm waiting for the next books, The Purple Hibiscus, The Yellow Sunday, something there it is like that. But yes, I am actually wanting to read more of her, and I honestly love the book We Should All Be Feminists. The fourth book that I completed and started, like that I read in the month of August, was this book called The Vegetarian by Han Kang. It's a South Korean novel translated to English. I forgot the author who translated it to English, but anyhow, this book is for making your brain get really messed up, okay? Like this novel is for that purpose. I was hearing really very critical acclamations of this book for a long time now, and I thought that I should give it a read because the cover is, oh my god, so impressive, with this red boundaries and the woman, black figure of the woman standing inside and all that. Like, oh my, it was so beautiful. And so I thought, like, yes, I should give it a read because the vegetarian sounds intriguing. But this novel actually blew my mind, with not because of any other thing, but because of the disturbance the novel creates and presents it to you. Like the moment you feel that you have figured out what's next, the moment you are in for a second twist, the moment you think no, it's okay, it's a mental illness and all that stuff, you understand that it's not that, it's more than mental illness, it's some dark perspectives. And literally the story is like this. Like there is a woman, her name is Young Hai, and she one day decides to become a vegetarian because of something she had. But now becoming a vegetarian is a very simple thing, like it's just a change in the course of your diet or in the food habits. But here the author presents the twist. The changing of her diet actually shatters the life of her close ones, both in the material level and in the physical level. It destroys the bonds many had with her and many had within themselves. It shows the societal boundaries, the societal norms one faces and all that stuff. So it's basically a very disturbing novel, like a psychopathic novel, I can say. Like really it is, like you cannot figure it out until the last moment. Even after you have completed the novel, there will be some confusions in your brain. Even till now there are many things which I couldn't process. Maybe the second reading I'll have a different perspective. So yes, if you are wanting or craving for a dark perspective or novel that gives you like literally filthy feeling, but at the same time a very satisfying feeling and very disturbing feeling, and you are thinking of all that stuff, go for it. And by the way, all the books I have mentioned here, I have rated it and reviewed some of them in my Goodreads account. So in case if you are wanting to know it in more details, obviously some of you might want, you can check it out in my Goodreads account. It will be linked in the description box below. Okay, so now the fifth book that I read in this month, and the last book that I read in this month is the book book named Down to Earth by Rhonda Hadsell. It's basically a blog she used to do, and then it got transformed into the format of a book because of its huge popularity. I finished it yesterday, and it was really great. Like, if you are wanting to come out of the consumer life, if you are wanting to come out of the consumerism, if you are wanting to have a simple life, self-sustaining life, make everything of your own, be all organic and everything very natural, and you are wanting of some basic recipes and how to clear off your debts, how to manage your finances, how to live healthily in your financial life, in your physical life, in your everyday life, welcome, you are in the Down to Earth. Okay, so this novel is a novel or book, I'm not sure, because it's basically a blog turned into book. But this book is very good. Like, it was a very self-sustaining book. I pretty liked it. The things I didn't like, I would say it now only. The things I didn't like was that I felt Rhonda Hadsell preached too much of tight-fistedness in this book. Like, you should come out of the complete interaction of the market. You should not buy even a single simple substance from the market. Like, it was her point of view. Now, I being a student of economics, I know that for a society to run or a economy to run, the interaction is a very necessary thing, and it might be helpful to some of the people in an individual level, but in a broader level it will completely close the economy. So yes, whatever she said is definitely correct from an individual point of view, but again, if you are living in a country, you should also think of how the country should run. I am not favoring the feeling and the fact that you should be completely dependent on the advertising products and all, no. But keeping a little amount of interaction with the market is also necessary for the very reason that when you become complete tight-fistedness, it adds up to being double on spending when you spend later on. So keeping a little bit of loose and keeping a little bit of ease to yourself and being a little loose on the spending won't harm you. In fact, it will benefit you in spending less than accept. I feel that. I have no objection to anything also. But again, Rhonda Hartzell is kind of a grandmother figure. She is a retired personality, so she has gathered a lot of experience, and whatever she has written from her experience. So I feel like if you're following her, it would benefit you. What I felt is my perspective, I kept forwarded. So yes, that was all about Down to Earth. No other complaint about it. This was an awesome book altogether. It gives you bread recipes, it gives you gardening techniques, it gives you how to manage your financial health, how to come out of mortgages and bank loans and debts and everything of such sort. So if you want a simple crisp reading that enhances your brain, that enhances your understanding techniques of how to live in this world simply yet peacefully, you should definitely give this book a try. You won't be disappointed. So having done with the video, it's time for the positive quote of today. So today I want all of you to remember, never bend your head, always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye, by Helen Keller. And she is the epitome of courage. She is the epitome of bravery to face the world, bravery to overcome obstacles and all the shits the world provides you and the nature has made you up of. And this quote is like a boost of energy to me, and so I felt it should also give you the requisite positive vibes you need. Never bend your head. Always hold it high, straight. Look the world straight in the eye. Be courageous, be confident, be self-sufficient in every aspect of your life. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do. Remember that always. So yes guys, that was all for today. I hope you all enjoyed my video as much as I enjoyed making it. Of course, talking about books never end, but still I loved how much we could talk about it. So if you have liked my video, do share it with your friends, your family, your close ones. Subscribe to my channel because you might be wanting to see more. Like it if you have really liked my video. Comment it what you liked and what you didn't like, so that I can change from the next time onwards. And yes, what you liked, so that I can actually feel that I have given you something that you can be happy for. So it was all. Like, comment, share, subscribe to all the good things that is necessary to make me and make my channel grow. So that was all about today. Till the next time, bye bye.